Hey guys, my name is Pari Surana and I'm the founder of Finish Line. And today I'm finally here with the recruiting series episode 2. I mean, I've been talking about filming it for so long and now it's finally here. And today, what I'm going to be covering is mails and how you draft them, what you can send, what you can't send, what you're supposed to say on a call when you get one. So, all of these things that are really important for you to know get recruited in the US. I'm going to be talking about all of that. So, yeah, let's get into this video. I'm going to talk about the number one most important thing it really takes for you to get noticed by college coaches. And honestly, initially for me as an Indian athlete, I was so unaware about what college sports in the US was, or how do you get in touch with these coaches, because it's not known in India. Very few, a handful of athletes a year honestly go to US to play college sports. It's yet a very niche thing and it's yet a very niche topic, so not many people know about it. So I had to do so much research on it, go on the NCAA website, figure out, talk to some of these education consultants, and then I actually understood how would you send a mail. So I would say the platform that I used was called NCSA, and it was definitely very expensive, no doubt, but I kind of did not have any option because I was a new diver, right? I only started diving a year ago that time, and I've only right now been diving for 2 years. So that time I was initially very new when I decided that, yeah, I want to go to US and compete in colleges there. So for me, I had to somehow get in contact with these coaches, and I knew that these coaches, if I would send them a normal email, it was not going to be possible. They're not going to open it. But this way, when I got in contact with NCSA, we built out a whole plan on how I could reach out, how what level did I have to get to. But I would suggest y'all to sending out normal emails, being good with your social media. That's very important because they like to see your progress every week, every month, especially the competitions that you're playing. What place you got, the highlights of your competition. So all of that, it's very important to be on top of that. It will take time, but if you do want to get recruited, then you have to constantly stay in touch with them. So yeah, now I'm just going to be speaking about the rules of engagement and what you should put in your emails, what's appropriate and what's not. So let's get into that. The first biggest rule is that you can reach out to coaches whenever you want. However, they can only reply back on the June 15th of your standard 10. They cannot reply back before that. You're too young. And after that, after standard 10, when on June 15th, they can reply back to all your mails. And then, of course, when you are in your senior year, when you are in grade 12, grade 11, then they can constantly reach out to you. You can have calls with them. Potentially, like I was asked if I could come for a visit to the US, but of course I couldn't. It's really expensive, so I couldn't go. But I took a virtual tour, and you all could do that. As an international student, it's definitely much tougher to go to the US, especially if you're staying in India. It's way too far to keep going back and forth. It was not feasible. But I'm just saying, when you are in your senior year, when you're on your grade 12, then you can normally call them, they can call you, you can have constant contact with them, but only there are a few restrictions before your standard 10 of June 15th. So that's like the rule of big thing when it comes to emails, is not making grammar errors. Like coaches will just not see the email if there's a grammar error. It really annoys them. So you have to be very precise when you're sending out a mail. You can put it on Grammarly because they don't like seeing grammar mistakes at all. It just shows that you've written the mail in a haste and just sent it. It shows that that college or that coach is not your priorities. Number two is subject lines. I think subject lines is very important. That's like your first impression that comes up on their mail. Like, they are not going to open a subject line saying that I am the number one swimmer in India, or I'm the number one diver in India. Like, they are not going to open something like that. So really be aware of what you put in your subject line. What I put in my subject line was something like this: prospective diver and the graduation year 2024 hyphen Mumbai, India. So I put that in my subject line, and that's when they did open it. So you can put something based on those lines, including what country or city you're from, what year are you graduating from your grade 12, and if you're a prospective diver, any other sport, prospective swimmer, anything like that, something that shows that is appropriate and decent for them to actually open up. Do not be overly confident and think, yes, I'm the number one in my sport, and yes, they will definitely open it. No, it's not going to work like that. So you have to be very careful about what you put in the subject line as well. Do not send mass emails. Do not copy paste your emails and just send it out to multiple coaches. They don't like that. You should customize your emails according to each college program, according to each coach. Like, you would think, yes, it's a shortcut, but trust me, they're not going to reply to you. They won't reply back because they know they've dealt with so many athletes from across the world. They know if you're just copy pasting it from different colleges, you're sending it to multiple coaches. So don't do that. Take out time to make a list of colleges you'll be a good fit for. I went to each college website, and before sending out these mails to college coaches, I went to the website, I looked at their team, I looked at their past performances. I went in the details of what major I chose. I looked at the number of majors that they had. I spoke little about like the location of the school, where, why I thought I would be a good fit. Take out time to send coaches the mail. It's okay. That way you will actually get a reply back. The most important thing is to have proper etiquette. When sending out a mail, you're not sending it out to your best friend. You can't just refer to them by their name. You should always write dear coach and their last name, because it shows respect, and that's what they look in for as well, how much respect the athlete has for their coach. So you can't be that informal. And even when you are ending your email, write sincerely your name or respectfully your name, because that's what they also seek for. It truly speaks a lot on your character as well. So keep that in mind. And now, the main part. What should you actually write in your mail? Now, I am going to put a little bit, sorry, my phone almost fell. I am going to put a draft of what I used to mail and send out to coaches, and use it as like a referral when you are sending out your mail. So I'm going to talk about from sport to sport. Now, it depends if your sport is a quantitative sport, something like swimming or running, something, which has a timing. It's much easier, I feel, to reach out to coaches, because you only have to send your timing and they'll know if you make the cut or know how much you have to improve or progress in order for you to reach the level of their team, or for you to even get into the college as a student athlete there. So how I used to start my mail was, I used to say, hi, my name is Pari Surana. I'm from Mumbai, India. And then I used to speak about what college I'm from, what my GPA is. If you don't know what GPA is, it's a grade point average. You can look it up, because we follow like the percentage system. So you can look it up on Google. I used to speak on that. And then I used to just talk about the programs. Qualitative sports like diving, for instance, gymnastics, or any other sport where they would actually have to look at your performance and see what level you are at, how much you have to improve. It's very important to send more links, more videos, so they can see the progress that you're making in your training, in your competition. So I would paste several of links. And honestly speaking, when I reached out to coaches initially, when I started diving, even through NCSA, I would barely get replies. I would send out so many mails and customize the mails and send it. It used to be so frustrating because I used to barely get reply, maybe from 2-3 coaches. Talking from my experience, I'd say my US summer camp tremendously helped me increase my performance. As I told you, I had very, very little time to be recruited. Actually, I was on the later end. I started in grade 11 properly. And in grade 12, then is when actually things started getting serious in my recruiting journey. And then I used to send like week 1, week 2, week 3 progress videos and send it to coaches so they could genuinely just see my performance improving by the weeks. And that is what secured the key. That is what got me noticed by Division 1 college coaches, and then I would have calls with them constantly. And I'm also going to talk about what should you be saying in the call or what questions you should be asking. But that is my journey. So I think how many ever videos you send, that would be great. And I did paste an email template for you to see what you should include and what you shouldn't. And another thing that I would say is, when you're writing a mail, do not brag too much about yourself. Like, coaches don't like that. Yes, it's good to share your achievements here and there. They know you're good at your sport, and that's why you're reaching out to them. Sometimes, like what I did was, especially in my case, I did reach out to a college where I thought, oh my God, I have no chance. And to mention, it was Columbia University. And that coach did reply back, and he was very sweet. It's just very motivating to even get their feedback. So sometimes you can reach out to them to even just get their feedback on how much you have to improve. You should shoot your shot. You never know what might happen, what might not. So sometimes you can just send that mail. The top 4 questions to ask, when you're having a call is, number 1, asking about their training routine, how many times they train in a week, general question of you to get an understanding of what your life can look like if you're in that college and what your training can look like. The second question I would really ask is regarding the facilities. What kind of facilities do they have? What kind of equipments do they use? That's very important when deciding if you want to go to college or no, because many colleges that I reached out to, some of them didn't even have proper dryland training mats. For me, dryland is very important. They didn't have that. They didn't have maybe a few equipments that I thought they would have. So that's also very important to understand on a call. Then the third thing to ask is about the team dynamic, because at the end of the day, you are going to be surrounded by people and you should like them. You're not just only playing your sport, you're playing it with others as well. It's very important to like your team members and how the team dynamic is, how they are with each other, what their values are like. Obviously, you can't get all of that in one call. That's why I suggest you later on to have a call with their team when things are actually, getting serious with that college. And the fourth thing is just to understand, as an Indian especially, how many international students are there. And if there are any Indians on campus, what the ratio is like. Because at the end of the day, you're going so far. So it's definitely great to have fellow Indians there with you, because you always feel more comfortable, whatever you say, people from your own country. So it's always great to ask them if there are Indians on the team or there are Indian organizations. And the last thing, sorry to add a fifth thing, obviously, I wouldn't say that you should directly on the call, like your first question should be about the financials of the scholarship. But I think depending on how the call is going, if you're comfortable with the coach and, if the coach is also friendly, I think you should ask about the financials and scholarship as well. Like a question that I used to ask is, how many athletes on the team are funded with scholarship and how many aren't? So for you to get an idea of what the possibility for you is to get a scholarship. And many coaches told me that, Pari, you need to up your level yet to get a scholarship. So you get an understanding and you get to know if you are a right fit for the college or if you can cancel out the college, because money is everything at the end of the day. It's going to be very expensive. So the more scholarships you get, definitely the better. But one thing in US is that once you get a scholarship, it can't go down, especially athletic. It can only go up and up as you perform better. So that's one good thing. And of course, the financials, if you're looking at a private college, is going to be much more expensive than a state or a public college. So obviously, financials are very important. So you should look into that and ask the coach about what the estimate or yearly cost can look like. Going on a call can be nerve-wracking, especially the first one. I remember my first call, I was so nervous because it was my first time having a call with a college coach ever. So I was coming back from practice. I left a bit early just to be on time. So it can be a bit scary and intimidating for sure. But I think that you should just always be yourself on a call. That's also a college coach, right? They've spoken to other athletes. They're not going to eat you up from the phone. So definitely being more calm, and you don't necessarily only have to talk about your sport. Yes, it's good to ask like the questions that I gave. You can ask that to get an understanding. They would like to understand how you are as as a person, what your hobbies are outside of your sport, because you're much more than your sport, right? You have to know about your family, for instance, your education, which is another very important question, because you're a student athlete, the student comes first, right? So your education is very important for them to understand how you are at studies, how much interest you have in it, because your grades are priority, so you yet have to be a certain level academically to get in. You should be friendly with them, talk to them like with them, overly formal with them. You can ask about their interests and how their coaching style is as well. So that's one thing to definitely keep in mind when you're talking to a coach. That's it for the video. I really hope that you all found this to be helpful. Honestly, during my recruiting journey, I would have really died for anyone if they would just make such a video like this that's informational, because that was really lacking. And here I am today to help you guys get into a college of your dreams in the US if you all want to be part of their whole college sports system. So I hope you all find this helpful, and I shall see you all next time.